I know making friends is supposed to be simple. You talk to someone, you hang out, and somehow, poof, you're friends. But if you're anything like me or any INFJ I know, it's not that simple, is it? For you, it's more like observe this person from afar for 6 months, which I actually did. One of my closest friends, I first saw her 6 months before we even said hi. Silently assess their emotional energy, their values, the way they treat strangers, and then maybe say hi if they pass the vibe check. I know, it sounds ridiculous when you say it out loud, but I just want you to know that you're not weird. You're just wired for something deeper. Hey there, welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Sam and I'm an Australian-based online therapist for INFJs, introverts, empaths, neurodivergent people, and those that feel like they don't really fit in. See, you don't just make friends, you feel your way into those friendships. You're constantly picking up on energy, micro expressions, and the emotional undercurrents. It's like your nervous system is scanning the room for people who are safe. And even when someone feels completely lovely, you might find that you still hold yourself back. And that's not because you're cold, even if it comes across like you're cold, but it's because you've learned. It's not always about what someone says, it's about how you feel when you're around them. And if you've been thinking to yourself, I would rather be alone than feel misunderstood, I want you to know that you are not alone in that. Sometimes in therapy, I hear people like you say things like, I want deeper friendships, but I feel stuck. Or people tell me to put myself out there, but small talk feels so pointless. And I get it, because you're not looking for a crowd. What you're looking for is that connection, that deep, soulful connection. Someone who actually understands the way that your mind works. Someone who won't flinch when you bring up something raw or vulnerable, or even just be a little bit weird. You don't want to be impressive, all you want is to feel understood. I also think that as INFJs, our understanding of friendship is completely different. I was having a chat with one of my INFJ friends, a real life INFJ friend, and we were talking about how we never know when to call somebody an acquaintance or a friend. When does someone get promoted from that acquaintance level to a friendship level? Because often it feels like when you're around extroverts, they would call everybody their friend, but for us INFJs, we would consider that person an acquaintance. And I would love to hear your thoughts on that, on what you think about when someone's an acquaintance or a friend. Now, here's the thing. You didn't become cautious by accident. You became this way because at some point, being open meant that you got hurt. Maybe you shed too much, too fast, and it wasn't held with that care and respect that you deserved and needed. Maybe you were always the one that listened, but no one ever asked how you were doing. Maybe you learned that most people don't know what to do with your level of depth. So now when it comes time to making friends, you take your time. You watch, you wait, you essentially audition people. Not because you're judging them, but maybe you are judging them, who knows? But it's actually because you're just trying to protect the parts of yourself that still hurt and still ache. And honestly, that makes so much sense. I get that, I hear you, I'm there with you. If you're feeling lonely right now, but also kind of resistant to the idea of just going out and meeting people, that doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. No, it doesn't. It means that you're someone who values the realness of people. And those type of connections, they can take time. It takes time. But here's something I've noticed. Your people, they're often tucked away in the quiet corners of the world. The bookshops, the volunteer groups, the niche workshops on healing or creativity or weird little things that most people will overlook. They're the ones that are sitting alone at events or cafes, wondering if anybody else also thinks to their level of depth. Wondering if anyone else thinks this deeply too. Because I assure you, there are other INFJs or INFPs or people who gel with INFJs and INFPs. They are out there. Have so many people ask me, how do you make friends and find other INFJs? And sometimes it just means going to community events and going to things in your local area that is of interest to you. Because sometimes those other people, they're actually just waiting for you. They're waiting for someone like you to say the first honest thing. And if we always just sit back and don't introduce ourselves or talk to other people, we're not ever going to find the other like-minded people that seek deep connection. So if you ever feel brave enough to go somewhere that feels aligned with who you are, not where you should go, but where you'd actually want to be, that's when you might find the glimmer of something real there. The beautiful thing is when you do find your people, the ones who feel like home, you will know. I promise you'll know. You'll feel it in your body. Your guard will drop. You'll exhale without even realizing you were holding your breath. So if you're in that in-between right now, please don't rush it. You're not behind. You're just building something real. And that kind of magic, it's worth waiting for. If this landed for you, then please leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, like this video, just so I know that you're out there and that you're receiving this message. And if you ever want to hear from someone who sees the world the way that you do, know that I'm here.